Here at Political Drain, the Resistance Channel, we know that gardening is resistance. More than likely, there will come a time that resisting means cutting yourself off from the system, and knowing how to feed yourself and your community might be the difference between winning or losing this fight.
Let's talk about how to get ready for spring. First, I took all my extra little spigot expander things off and put them into a bin where I keep my bird food and it'll get covered. And then it was time to drain out my hoses. Now, for soaker hoses, I like to just stretch them out in the sun. The last few warm days we really have to let them dry out like that because they're pretty hard to just shake the water out. But everything else, you're just going to hang them up. You're going to do what I'm doing here. You're going to shake, 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 Senora. And yeah, then when you're all done, you're going to put a diaper on your outdoor faucet. Trust me, it will save your pipes. You will thank me when your neighbors don't do it. And then just twine up all of your hoses and get them put away for the winter. We put ours in the basement because we don't want the rubber ones to crack from any sudden temperature changes. We are doing something special in my backyard. I'm not ready to talk about it, but we will. Here are my beautiful chickens. Aren't they great? Helping Mike with the compost while I was scooping their poop because it is really good to have on top of your compost. Very handy. So let's talk about how to finish off our compost. Fill it up as much as you can before it reaches freezing temperatures. Make sure you've got lots of worms. I'll have a bit about that later. And then just pour enough water on to get everything really moist. You don't want it soaking. You don't want it dripping. But really, really moist. And then it's time to cover it for the year. So I used cardboard in any areas that seemed to be getting any cracks or that seemed to be letting air in a little bit more. And then I just took some tarping that we already had from building my indoor greenhouses, and I have one layer that I've been using the whole time on it. And then here I'm going to take another really thick layer and lay it over the whole thing. And the reason I am using the color black, and the reason my box is colored black, and the reason that the boxes we're building next year will be black is because it absorbs the sun's heat throughout the day, which will help to keep your compost warm, because compost will not compost if it doesn't stay nice and warm. So yeah, just getting that all tucked in, and then I'm going to cover it partly to protect it from the wind and also to protect it from chickens because they like to get in there and look for a snack. And we don't want that. It's not the healthiest and it won't give me very much compost. So that's setting it up for the winter. To prep for spring, make lists. We did our winter prep in the winter is coming video, and now we're checking off our spring prep list. One of the first things we did was make a list of the seeds that we want to be sure to plant next year, and I have already purchased several. And then we took our map and we redid it. This is our finalized version of the front garden, and then we actually used the back to plan out the back. Whoops, I gave away the secret. After that, we figured out when we can start starting seeds inside and when we can start sowing seeds outside, and I have 2 calendars, one for starting everything inside that I can start inside, and then another calendar for when I can transplant those and when I can direct sow. Next, get a tiller. Until this year when I was not able to do a whole lot of this by myself anymore, you can see I'm kind of struggling, which I never have before, and this bed especially is pretty easy. And the idea of having to do it all by hand, I sat and cried, and then my husband surprised me because he is a gift. Okay, so today I am making a big mess by doing lots of digging in the dirt. Specifically over here, I'm digging in the dirt to gather some worms to throw in my compost. So, but what I'm actually doing is, when we built this bed years ago, we put down both professional weed barrier and also, let's see if I can find one over here somewhere. we also used garbage bags. And for planting all these years, we just basically either remove a patch where we're going to plant, or we just dig a hole through the barriers, put the plant in, and let it grow. And that's always worked really well. But we're redoing this whole garden bed next year. It's all going to be growing food. Like, we're going to utilize as much space as possible. So I've been slowly pulling off all the barriers. I got all the barriers from this area here, and all this, all of it. And I've been raking up some of the excess wood chips, and then we will be using my new toy, my tiller, my anniversary gift, because I have the best husband ever. And we are going to till the ground. And then I haven't decided yet whether or not I want to cover it for the winter. That's just a lot of stuff to cover. So, but yeah, I'm just going through the available spaces that I can go through right now, removing the previous stuff, barriers, and then digging for worms and pre-loosening the dirt a bit. The tiller's great, it really is, but this dirt has been sitting here under stuff for years, and actually with all the worms and everything, it is, oh my gosh, that's not the best handful because it had so much wood chips mixed in, but this stuff is going to be amazing to grow my plants in next year. I'm really excited. This soil is legitimately, especially for Utah where it's usually just hard clay. Wow. Like, I am incredibly excited to plant next year. If you can get a tiller, get a tiller. The soil would be good anyway, but having to hand till through all this would not be fun. It's a lot. It's a lot. So, if you're able, get a tiller. One last thing to do to prepare for spring is to think about pollinators. Now, we had several things last year that helped with pollinators, or I guess this year. Feeders for the birds, plants that bees liked, etc. And this coming year, we have decided that we want a lot more pollinators, and especially butterflies. So,
Alright, so here's the deal. Today we are going to be planting our pollinator garden.
Build a pollinator garden.
We cleared out a couple of rose bushes and a whole bunch of thorny things and crazy stuff that had just popped up over the years in our corner bed, and we are going to be putting bulbs in today. So let me show you where we're going to be planting, and then I will show you how we are going to keep track of what we are planting.
Okay, so this is the corner bed I'm talking about. You can see it joins up with the roses that were here when we moved in. And what we did is we cleared out a lot of space in front of the rose bed so that we can put more flowers in here. To be perfectly frank, we usually end up neglecting the roses because we just don't stop to think about them. We trim them and that's about it. So we're going to be putting in some bulbs and seeds along here, and then here in the corner we saved our anniversary rose bush, but everything else has been taken out. We have tilled it twice, and today we will be putting in the bulbs, and let me show you how we keep track of that. Okay, so what I'm doing, I have 5 different kinds of bulbs that we're planting today, and I am using nail polishes to keep track. So what I'm going to do is pick a nail polish color to go with each kind. So
For example, with my mixed still bays, I'm going to be doing this kind of purpley color. So I'm going to put a drop of this on here, and then I will put a drop of this or a swatch of this on my little plant tags, and I will stick one in the ground where I put a bulb, and that way we'll be able to keep track. I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, Danny, why would I use nail polish when I could use a pen or a marker and write the names? And I'll tell you why. First of all, I have done that many times on many garden tags, and even with Sharpies, the letters fade away. They do. And so nail polish doesn't. The other nice thing is you can reuse them over and over and not have to worry about, okay, it says tomatoes, how do I make it say strawberries instead or whatever. So you can just change your color coordination. So let me show you a couple more things I've done. First of all, the main reason for the color coordination to keep track of where the bulbs are is because we don't want to accidentally overload an area. So if I put in, say, one of my lilies and then I accidentally plant a bunch of zinnias over it, well, that's a problem. Okay. So what my husband and I did is we sat outside one day and just looked at all our beds and drew it out and turned it into a map that we also color coordinated to help us prepare for what we're going to plant over the winter for next year. So let me show you that. This is our lovely map. We don't claim to be artists, but our soggy bog, as you can see, we just kind of put it on paper, well, a whiteboard. And now we're going to coordinate where all these items are with our color-coded nail polish stickers, or rather garden tags. I don't know what they're really called, with the nail polish. So that's where we're at right now. So the husband and I are going to go start planting, and we'll show you some other stuff along the way. Okay, so I know it doesn't look like much right now, but we have gotten a few bulbs and our blue button boys planted. Got them all tagged so we know where everything is. And hopefully in 6 months we'll be able to come back and show off the results. I hope autumn is treating you well. We're having our struggles, but we're doing our best. And make sure you keep following along both on my short series about things like updates here and how to grow potatoes in bins, and my adventures trying to grow garlic and sweet potatoes, but also my long form videos to teach you ways to survive in everything right now. Very important. So thanks for tuning in. Let your gardens grow, because tomorrow we fight. Hey YouTube, want a rare glimpse into the kitchen life of the Soggy Boggy Witch? Although I said that my channel will not be about recipes or processes for canning, for our Patreon members, it is. So join us over on Patreon for a rare glimpse into the Soggy Boggy kitchen, for some chaotic cooking as we can my amazing salsa verde.